Hi there, this is John, and welcome to another edition of Old Guy Career Change. This video is about how other people, including your friends, might react to your career change, and how you should react to their reaction. To recap, I'm a 66-year-old software engineer looking at switching careers. The first 4 videos on this video channel will give you all the gory details. My own career switch is actually still in progress, and I don't know how it's going to end. If you're considering a career switch, I hope to help you by documenting my journey as it's happening. First, let's talk about the big picture. Your change involves walking away from your current career and embarking on a new, unproven path. Changing careers usually involves a drop in job title, power, status, salary, and just about anything else you can think of. You're fine with all of that. You've given it serious thought, and you're going for it. So, you tell someone about your plans, or they heard about it from someone else. That person may be a close friend, a casual friend, or a random neighbor. Most of the time I'll use the word friend in this video so the discussion is less cumbersome. What can happen? First, they'll be surprised, and that's okay. Unless you've been openly grumbling about your career or your job, nobody knew you were contemplating a switch. So of course they're surprised. But they also didn't expect this because they can't even imagine it. It's so far beyond their reality that it's like you started speaking in Greek this morning. By the way, I tried to have a really nice video with sound effects of Greek people dancing, but I couldn't find any that were royalty-free, so sorry. Right after surprise may come uneasiness. Your switch challenges their worldview. It destabilizes their model of how the world works. If they're advancing up the rungs of a corporate or professional ladder, you're showing them that there's another way to live. Or maybe they're keen on making more money. If your switch involves a lower salary, as they usually do, at least at first, then maybe money isn't the most important thing. How can that be? If they want to become a manager and you're walking away from a management job, well, you're turning your back on something they're dreaming about. How can you possibly do that? If they've been conventional in their career, work hard at what you did in school, nose to the grindstone, then you're demonstrating that it's possible to veer off in a totally different direction. Maybe someday they'll change their career, in part because of your example. If that happens, you'll then be the friend reacting to their career news. Remember what you're going through now and vow to do the right thing by them. They may have a lot to process vis-a-vis their own career. Now I'll talk about what may come after surprise and uneasiness. A good friend should react in a supportive and helpful way, and they should try to help. Wow, neat. Is there anything I can do to help you with this? Asking probing but useful questions that can help you refine your plans. And if they're doing that, they're a great friend. Your reaction is really simple and obvious. You should have all the deep conversations you can with them. Another possibility is that your friend is supportive in a nice way, but not especially helpful, or maybe seemingly uninterested. They'll say, hey, that's a great move, but then not much else. But wait a second. This is a momentous change in your life. The universe is being torn asunder. You're taking risks and you're super brave and courageous. Yet their reaction is breezy and cavalier. What's wrong with them? Don't they know you're doing something heroic? Well, yes and no. They know what you're doing, and they have to sync it to their worldview. But at the same time, if you're a casual friend, then your changes are really at a distance. Now think about it. If a neighbor 2 blocks away from you did something momentous, how excited would you be? You may walk away thinking about the new information, but at the same time, you wouldn't be super interested or concerned about it because they're just a neighbor. Most of our relationships are casual friends. It's a big deal to you, but not a big deal to them. Your best response to a neutral reaction is just to be neutral in return. Say, yep, I'm looking forward to the change. Thanks for your support. And say something non-committal, like you should catch up for coffee in a few months. If your switch includes a drop in compensation, as most do, then you may be asked how that's possible. And there are 2 ways that this can happen. First, some people are just materialistic. They're caught up in the consumer grind. They can't ever envision taking an action that lowers their compensation. Compensation and wealth is how some people keep score, and it's a big deal to them. If you want to get deep, it reinforces their fragile ego and their self-worth, or who knows what. And so if you get critical questions about what you're doing, your best response is just to downplay the compensation change because you're not going to change them. Say, yes, I'll be making a lot less, but I could be making more money after a few years, after a couple of raises. Even if that's not true, just say it and just get off the topic. That makes your priorities clear and gives them a face-saving response. Or you could say, yep, I'll be making a lot less, but it's still plenty to live on and I'll have a lot more fun. Either way, tie off the conversation and move on. Don't try to convince them that your action is the right one or why money isn't all that and a bag of chips. The other response, though, is from someone who isn't materialistic, but they are in a real money vise. They may have large medical bills. They may have a big mortgage payment. They may worry about how they're going to pay for their kids' education. Those are real concerns. Those are real life consequences weighing on them every day. And they're envious, even if positively envious, they're envious that you aren't in the same vice. Response? Be humble and express appreciation that you're able to undertake this change because some other people aren't able to. Yes, I'm fortunate I'm going to be able to absorb the salary hit. I'm lucky and I know it. It'll be hard, but I'll be fine. Another kind of reaction can happen if your switch involves a drop in class or status. And there are so many variations of this that I'll just talk about the most common ones. Turns out human beings are great at dividing themselves into tribes. There are many ways to define a tribe, such as by the company you work for or your department or, what part of town you live in. Humans are also great at being perturbed by anyone who leaves their tribe. So say you hold a C-level title right now, CEO, CMO, CTO, whatever, and you won't in your new career. Your friends may think you have a plum job right now. You got this title, you're at the top, this is great. Why would you leave it for a lesser role? Say you're a manager and you're going to become a lesser manager, or you're going to leave management completely and become an individual contributor or an independent artist or a freelancer, what have you. Your friend may want to become a manager someday, and they're thinking, WTF. Then there's worker class. There are white-collar and blue-collar jobs. White-collar jobs are in the office, blue-collar jobs aren't, and they're manual labor. And within blue-collar jobs, some involve more manual labor than others. To help you understand this, let's use an example. The CEO editing a memo announcing massive layoffs because the stock price needs to go up because compensation includes lots of stock is a white-collar job. The workers outside who are greasing up the guillotine, those are blue-collar jobs. I hope that example simplifies things. So the career switch I personally am doing is an example of this. I'm a software engineer today. That's a white-collar job. I'm trying to switch, at least at the moment, to become a watchmaker. A watchmaker is a blue-collar job. It's manual labor. It isn't manual labor like construction, but it's still blue-collar. There are many more variations on this theme. Your friend could be critical or questioning because you're switching from a for-profit occupation into a non-profit occupation or job. There's a drop in money, usually, and perceived status there. Or a change in the other direction. You're going from nonprofit to profit. There's a drop in altruism, let's call it, and the perceived virtue of the work. Or you could be switching from a non-artistic occupation or job to an artistic occupation. Or moving in the other direction. You could even just be leaving your current occupation, period. Some people are true believers in the supreme awesomeness of what they're doing. And so changing anything, just leaving your tribe for anything, will be a step down.
What?
You don't want to work in this aquarium store anymore? What's wrong with you? It's all a matter of you have a defined tribe and you're leaving the tribe to go somewhere else, to do something else, a different path. Here's the thing. Don't take offense at any of this, at any criticality, at any questioning. Recognize all of it as a leaving the tribe reaction. Say, you're right, but I'm unhappy with what I'm doing now. The new job will be super fun and I can't wait to get started. The common theme here is change and how it can threaten some people. You're dancing to the beat of your own drummer, and that can be threatening because of how they're stuck in their roles and they can't imagine any other way. Good friends will control that reaction and stay in your corner. Other people, not so much. Remember, too many people let themselves be trapped in their careers. A song by the rock band The Eagles said it perfectly. We never even know we have the key. Dealing with the reactions of others can be stressful, but never take it personally. Stand your ground And be ready to cut someone from your social circle if they become outright toxic. 99% of the time, that won't happen. But if someone continues harping on what you're doing or questioning or giving you a little nudge every now and then, cut them loose. You should feel great about what you're doing, regardless of the amount of risk. If it was easy, everyone would do it. How many friends do you know, or how many people do you know, who have done what you're attempting? Believe in yourself. You're the only one who can. Till next time, take care. Small channels like mine live and die by the number of likes. So if you like this video, please click the like button. Click the subscribe button to hear about future videos. Thank you for watching. See you next time.